heat permeates the air already thick with frog song. Cricket, bluegrass bands. The feel of parting sandy mud into watery mouths, bleeding with red clay. That smooth embrace, that creek-raised childhood, the smell of broken pottery dug from rocky stream beds. Because I have seen the Blue Ridge, just a taste of Appalachia. The mountains have made me, and I cannot forget.
500 million years ago, the mountains were formed and the earth was joined. Ireland and America, one mass of land. Tectonic plates clashed, mountains rose and fell like waves. From deep within the earth, water rose. It ripped the world in two. It pushed the broken mountain sides further and further apart until eventually they lost sight of each other.
My song of the South is the cicadas, the evening bats dancing with the whippoorwills, which don't sound real until they keep you up at night, looking at the stars and dreaming of the things that can happen beside a crackling fire, reaching across it in every fantasy I've ever had, for the hand I was always too afraid to grab through the flames.
The two mountain ridges grew full with plant life, entanglements of mountain laurel and azalea knotting the sandstone ridge. In the folds of the mountain crest, shaded valleys hid. Soon, the memory of their other half became nothing more than a passing murmur, the shadow of some unknown loss. But, in their growth, the two mountain ridges mirrored each other. The same plants sprouted. The earth sang the same song, calling each other home.
I wrote our love in little stones the shape of home, to say we'd been there, him and me.
When I was a little boy, I never liked to eat. Mama put things on my plate, I dumped them on her feet. Then one day she made this soup, I ate it all in bed. I asked her what she put in it, and this is what she said. Do you want to learn? Okay. It goes like this. Chicken lips and lizard lips and alligator eyes, monkey legs and buzzard eggs and salamander thighs, rabbit ears and camel ears and tasty toenail pies. Stir them all together and it's Mama's soup surprise.
Turnip leaves and cabbage leaves and red potatoes fried, beetroot black and gammon fat and strips of bovine hide, garlic skins and salmon fins with lamb and salt combined, seaweed green and heavy cream. It's Mama's soup surprise.
We are born of the same gentle stream, a raging river to unknowing eyes. We float up from rock. I come first, she follows. From the green serpentine veins below. It's a clean birth, no mud, no blood, smooth beneath our baby feet, magnesium fed. I know the way to shore.
I don't remember being born of the river, only crying without sound, tears without breath behind them, light too bright, even behind closed eyelids. I followed a shadow to dry land.
New land for us, unharmed and undiscovered.
Ours.
Ours. In a way that you can claim a thing that's wild, a thing too big for you to know. Or maybe it's the other way around. It made us so we belong to it.
My eyes adjusted to the light.
In this bright new world, I am alone.
I had drifted to the opposite shore.
Alone before I have the words for it.
I forgot my passage to that shore, relived it through retelling. His fabled climb onto the bank, me lost in my blindness, the words repeated until they become my own history, fed on memories not my own. My first memory is running with him in the warm, wet grass.
She tells me about the kissing or the not kissing. About the water she says she forced down my throat. She tells me that I lost our game, although I feel certain I would never let her catch me. She tells me I don't remember, although I feel certain I could never forget. That's how it is. That the days fade to one smear of spit and grass on my memory. Except for the water. The water is always clear. You see, if you follow our little river, it becomes a waterfall. Standing at the top looking down, it seems intimidating, but there's no use standing around wondering what's on the other side. You have to jump. Now, the important thing is to jump in the right place. Too far to the left, not enough water, could get stuck. Too far to the right, see, there are these roots that will run under the water. Going over them sends you flying. What you want is to go straight down the center, to the pool at the bottom.
Why don't I just watch you first? That way if something happens, I can jump in and save you.
I can swim. What's the worst that could happen?
Drowning.
Come on, Sawyer. Don't be scared.
I'm not scared.
Then don't make me go alone. Please.
Fine. But if I drown, I'm taking you with me.
We'll go down together. Ready?
No.
Too late!
I didn't like it. The suddenness of the water, the rushing and turning, the loss of control. But not Sam.
I stayed there all day. And in the days afterwards, I returned again and again, flying and floating with our river. Sometimes I'd swim out to where the trees had fallen and created a natural pool. I lay on my back and let the sun warm my face.
He swam in the pool, where clumps of dead leaves and rotting forest bones gather. I never swam out to meet him, too afraid of what the water might be hiding. The snakes gliding beneath the surface, the rocks piercing our bare feet, the water swallowing me whole. But not Sam. Sam was never afraid.
I watched you grow roots by the water's edge,
Gripping slick rock, I wrapped myself around azalea bushes,
scrabbing in the dirt.
so you would have a place to climb, a cradle for each foot and hand.
As I rose out of the water and to the top again.
I stayed in the shade, where no cascade could unroot me. Can you drown from getting caught in the rain?
No! I wouldn't open your mouth too wide just in case. Stop that.
Come here.
No thanks.
Come on. Spin with me.
Let's get back to the fire.
It'll have blown out by now.
The trees are covering, I'm sure it's fine. Let's make a run for it.
Oh, look. It's gone out.
I can get it going again.
Sam. I don't think it's going to work.
Just give me a minute, I can fix it.
You don't have to. Really. I'm not that cold.
Good. Because this is as good as this is going to get.
Tell me the story.
Do you want to hear the story of Cove Creek?
Always.
Promise not to get scared.
I promise.
Okay. The story of Cove Creek. Hundreds of years ago, thousands of miles of land and ocean from here, waves of people left their home. They were pushed out, told they didn't belong, spit out by a land too full to keep them alive. They began a chain of leavings, dragging them from place to place, searching for ground to grow on. They sailed across the ocean in huge ships, one home behind them, hoping another one was waiting across the water. But when they finally reached land, they found that it too was full of people. People who told them that they couldn't live there either. So they travelled further, over miles and miles of rocky terrain. They crossed a long mountain chain and rivers raging with currents. They lost hundreds to the cold and wet and exhaustion. And still the roamers continued on. They kept themselves going on the stories and songs of home. And then they found Cove Creek. At first it seemed like a tiny path someone had cut into the mountainside. They followed it and were amazed when it took them safely through the mountains and into this vast expanse of lush green valleys. It was beautiful. And the land was good. The mountains and plants seemed so familiar, it could have been the home they left behind them. There was a connection they couldn't put words to. But after only a few weeks, people started leaving again.
Why?
Because of the music. You see, when you stood out along the ridge, you could hear voices singing and instruments playing. All day and all night, quiet music drifted in the wind. Even in the houses they built, they could still hear it. At first, they thought it must be another group of people nearby. They looked and looked and they never found anyone. All the surrounding land was too infertile and inhospitable. Too thick with trees for even a small camp. But still, there was always music. To some, it was the most beautiful music they'd ever heard. Voices singing in harmony, choruses of familiar instruments calling to them. Those who could hear it would stand in the fields all day. Not working, not even talking, just listening. Sometimes even dancing to the music in their heads, possessed by it. And then there were the others. They heard the music, but they didn't hear the beauty. Instead, what they heard was this unearthly wailing. Sounds of loss, tortured souls crying out to them. It was an inescapable torment, and these people began to go mad. They lay inside all day, unable to move, overtaken with the deep sorrow they heard in these voices. And then some people couldn't hear the music at all. And to them, it seemed like everyone else had just gone crazy. They thought they were making it up, looking for a way out of the hard work that goes with settling in a new land. They tried to keep the community going, but with so many falling victim to ecstatic dancing or formless despair, it was impossible. So those who were untouched by the music packed up and left their supposed Eden. They managed to take some of the haunted with them, dragging them away. But others refused to leave, unable to escape, unwilling to leave the voices that were calling to them.
What happened to them?
No one knows for sure. Some say they eventually broke whatever spell they were under and were able to leave the ridge. But others say they stayed there. Not eating, not sleeping, just listening. Until eventually they succumbed and joined the voices themselves. Whatever happened, they disappeared without a trace. A few brave individuals went back, eventually, to look for those they left behind. They came over the mountains and into Cove Creek, and were amazed to find it exactly as they had discovered it, without a sign that anyone had ever lived there.
I love that smell.
The fire?
The rain. It's not just water. Rain on the mountains. It has that specific smell. Earthworms weaving through fresh mud. Leaves opening. The trees exhaling.
petrichor.
What?
Petrichor. That's the word for it. 2 parts. Petra meaning stone, ichor meaning the fluid that runs in the veins of the gods. I'm going to check if the creek is flooded.
Petrichor. How I remember him. Petrichor. His scent like summer rain. Petrichor, every memory steeped in water. And even though love is supposed to live in flowers and sunny days, I think of him in warm rain. The smell of mud, the way the air became thick enough to swim through. And I don't trust that all that rain could be a good thing.
The water's really rising.
What happens if it floods?
I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Felt the river rising, twisting through me. I spent my life battling the fear of those early days, trying to keep the water from swirling above my head, dragging me under. We were just kids, heel clicking in the mud pits of the mountains. The first homecoming, the mountains to each other, the second, us within them, roots running deeper than memory. Human, we forget, but the worms remember.